Hi guys, it's me, Ren. Welcome to my channel, NER. So today I want to talk about our church and Christianity. So, okay, let's start today's topic because a lot of Christians just cause caught, and I mean, for some part of it, yes, sure. I mean, just religion, like when they don't recognize each other, they think that the theologically there's a little bit differences, they fight. It always happens. Yeah, so even when the old church, I mean the Catholic, they are trying to protecting all the tradition in the past, and they want to attack. Like the new church just emerge, they also attack, calling them cult. Same thing. Okay. So that's why I'm not really worried about it, but at the same time, because I think my channel up until right now still most of the viewers are our church members. So I hope that our church member will at least understand this point, is that our church itself built is like heavily based on Bible. Based on Bible, based on Christianity explanation as well. Everything is connected. I know, like some of us, we don't even want to recognize Bible. We just say that, yeah, why do we even need to study Bible? Bible is not even important. And we have true we have true father's word, and we have true mother's word. We have so many things. So, do we necessarily need to study all this? Unfortunately, I think the answer is yes. And maybe you start to think about like, yeah, it's not really necessary. Do we even need to know Christianity? Why would we even need to study Bible? So basically, for me, the best proof, if you really think that it is something that they think is unnecessary, look at True Father's autobiography. Go and read the book. True Father's family, before True Father have uh, have the inspiration to meet Jesus during Easter days prayer, like a midnight prayer when he was 15, 16, is that his family was originally is a Confucians, but after that they need to change the whole family, because of his uncle. So that's why the whole family switched into Christianity. They think that God just prepared anything like just really randomly. You just look at the Confucianism. Do they really have a concept of like a new coming, like a Messiah thingy? Not really. Maybe in Buddhist they do. In Islam, maybe. Yeah, because they call it the last thing, and there will be the last prophets. And Christianity, basically, they are prepared for that, since Jesus said that he will be back, and it's after he revived and he is ascending to the spiritual world again. So yeah, some Christians claim that it's not, but actually, check your Bible. Yeah, I mean, check your Bible. This is something I think pretty obvious. Yep. But then why our church, like being such a long time, we are trying to neglecting Christianity and also the teaching from Christians. I mean, even a lot of the traditions itself. Part of it, I think we can try to go back and look how our church is being developed in this way. I don't want to blame onto anyone, but I mean, like, because of something, so that's why it just caused something else to happen. And a lot of time is something means negatively, but doesn't mean that someone needs to take up whole full responsibility. But yeah, everybody share the responsibility together, including you and me, in a sense. So in the very early stage of our church, and when True Father just starting the church, like in other university and so So at that time, there's Ewha University and also have the Yonsei University. And during that time, those students, their background basically they are Christians, and they are really heavy Christians, which means they study hard, they study the Bible hard, and they have all these things, and they have all these questions in the Christians, but then they found out that, oh, only true father, and then they call them teacher. Only teacher is the one who is having all the solution onto it. And so that's why even true fathers say that even I chase them back, they will just come. I lock the front door, they come from back door, and I lock the back door, they just gonna crawl over the wall and just come into the church and just want to listen to my words. Something like this. It's not that bragging, but something like True Father is really pleading the students, please don't cause troubles anymore. But yeah, the students doesn't want to. Yeah. So in this kind of situation, you don't find an answer, you find an answer from this teacher, but after that, everybody is persecuting the teacher. You, as a Christians, you see how all the ruin, those corrupted people, the so-called leaders, holding the authority to say that are you a Christian or not, and calling you cult and something, it's like attacking you in the name of Christianity. People, like in a defending system, they want to be recognized. Everybody wants to be recognized. So if somebody attacking me, unless I can protect myself, or else I will just try to do the same thing, blame and or attack. We call it accurately, it's called revenge. Revenge onto those people who are trying to attacking us in the past. Yeah, and basically from my point of view, that's what it happened. So now, like this early batch of people, they have strong Christians, they believe in God, but they're being betrayed by Christianity. So that's why they try to revenge back onto the Christianity a lot of times. So that's why they say that they're failure, they're in the old way, they're in the past, and they don't really try to talk a lot about Christianity and also like the Holy Bible in that sense. And actually, in the divine principle, if you take careful enough, if you're being careful enough, actually a lot of like small numbers that mentioning all the like a Holy Bible scriptures of is inaccurate. No one really like checking onto it. Yeah, I think part of it, old generation, the first generation, when they came in, they didn't want to look through it again. And for the new generation, we don't know what happened, so we don't have the concept about it. So that's part of the reason why, for me, point of view, from my point of view, it just happened in this way. Yeah. So with having like all these kind of factors, and it's just making our church like living much more further and further away from Christianity. And actually, like a lot of time, actually, like okay, let's say when we talk about sexual sin and stuff, like in our church we have something really clear, but at the same time, because like a lot of things that we are just talking about, dealing with it like really unprofessionally, like clear, like okay, let's say very clear like sexual sins. We talk about the homosexuals. We talk about the sex before marriage is not allowed. Outside the marriage is also not allowed. But basically, we only talk about this three part of it. And every time there's a new type of like a sexual sin coming out, usually we judge by emotion. But actually, in Bible itself, it already shows all the very specific things that you are supposed to do, and that includes like no sex in the marriage. That is also considered a sexual sin if you know about like the Holy Bible. And If you know this part of it, then it's not such a big deal for you to have a family life, and you're trying to imagine it. I mean, not in a pornographic way, but it's something like the ideal way. That's that's what the Hainan is doing right now. But at the same time, just for your information, there's a lot of country that is rejecting Hainan culture, including Korea. So that's why I say it's a really big problem for most of the time when we just trying to when we are ignorant onto the knowledge about Holy Bible, when we ignorant onto the knowledge about whatever it is our root of our church, our movement, our religion. You might ask, oh, really? The root? No, root is just heavenly parents and true parents. Basically, I'll just say, if we want to call it the root, we inherit all this foundation is because of Christianity. True Father always mentioning all the religion need to unite. Like somehow, I don't know, the True Father includes Christianity on, like includes the Unification Church into it or not. But he said eventually all the religion in the world need to unite, centering on Christianity. I'm not sure about Unification Church where we are placing. Are we placing together with the Christianity or we are placing outside? But the other religion need to come together with the Christianity. That's the main point. That's the central pillar that God can work. That God are supposed to work with this bunch of people. That's the most important point of it. And also, like when we are just dealing with everything about it, we have too much ignorance onto it. And the ignorance itself is not only that, oh, we are a new church, we don't know anything. It's that there's too much laziness inside our members. So that's why we need a lot of people to doing on the media. And you will just feel like really weird, like, oh, why there is no such media that is like, really, really being like famous among our church. Or like those famous ones can only survive with the workshop because only the workshop fits their subscriber and whatever. Like, oh, it's not really working. Why? Why? It's just showing right there because there's no one who's trying to spread the words. And there's no one who is trying to study all the words. And usually they will just like, without really thinking, without really like checking other facts inside of it and just give an idea. So that's why like a lot of our lecturer, they know how to talk. They do talk well. I mean, when I mean talk well, is like emotionally, they do talk well, but at the same time, they don't have any document in the end. So sadly, but yeah, it just keep on happening this way. And maybe you just think, well, so then why we need to speak it out? Like talking about like a Christianity, why we need to talk about it, and why don't you just then talk about it and just focus on our own movement right now? Right now we're just centering on True Mother's word. Firstly, True Mother have so many like metaphors that when she is using it, you can try to find it in Bible as well. And if you don't try to understand all this and you just try to rely on to the leader's explanation, you will be very dangerous because you are not taking up your own responsibility onto your own life of faith. And maybe you just think that I'm threatening you, but not. You need to take up your own responsibility onto the life of faith. So that's why when you go to the spiritual world, the spiritual world won't blame onto you. They think that you just uniting with Abel and everything will be done. No, just look at what happened to Noah's story. Ham and Shem. So Shem, is he uniting with Abel? Yes. And who is this Abel? Ham. And what did Ham just happen onto it? Ham is the one who just covered his father, Noah's naked body, backward. So Can you just follow your leader and you don't suggest anything? You don't try to study anything? No. You need to take up the responsibility, so that's why you two can just success together. Not on the other way around. Like if I just say that, oh, I just sit back and I do nothing, basically you just a passenger. Like it's really, and like in a country like right now, we always call ourselves like democratic countries, but if you know about the democratic demo, it means that people protect itself. It just means power. So when you try to understand about this phrase itself, it's like a people's power. So the people's power, if you don't have any connection about the peoples and the power and the people inside here is not filled up with knowledge, not filled up with experience enough, basically this part of the people is dumb, and this big bunch of dumb, they will just absorb whatever the politicians saying. They will just absorb whatever the media is saying, and they become the part of the they will just become part of them. So that's why like educating the word itself is so important, and to let you have the knowledge to encounter all the false guidance and the false leadership itself is also very important. I mean, like in this church, yeah, there's a lot of people who trying to just look at the hierarchy and not focusing on to what is true, but that is supposed to be changed. We need to take time. I know we can't just one step and just go there, and it just means that everybody die, because no one is like the holy man like Jesus, like true father, like true mother. Okay, as true parents. Okay, make them into one. True parents, the perfect one. Okay, so yeah. So that's why I think like if we want to know our own rule of faith, we need to study Holy Bible. Yeah, after that, we need to try to understand the Wonder Woman, but at the same time, Wonder Woman is so difficult. So that's why we study the divine principle with the precaution in your mind. Divine principle is not the final. It's not the final words. It's not the final inspirations. And then so that's why we have the unification thought that is much more advanced. Then after that, we have the all other true mothers written, including the true parents theory that coming up. On this building up the concept of a whole new thing that we talk about the whole world. Yeah. But yeah. Like maybe if you join like Chumbo event and like a 40 days and you heard the lecture, and sometimes you just heard that, oh yeah, we just think that the Bible is like too much masculine instead of like very feminine. Yeah, we did say that. But do we just deny all the value of the Bible? No, we don't. Yeah. So I hope that you are just trying to understand what's really happened. And we need to enforce ourselves with the words. Not only true parents, but also Christians. The Holy Bible. They're so important into it. Yeah. I think, yeah, that's all for today. And hope I can just see you all in my next video. Peace.